The neighborhood looked peaceful. Rows of trimmed hedges, neat driveways, kids on bikes. Nothing about it suggested that one of Canada's most sadistic killers was living behind one of those doors. Paul Bernardo wasn't the kind of man you'd suspect. He had the face of a boy band member, clean-cut, well-spoken, the type who smiled at neighbors and held doors open for strangers. But beneath that polished exterior was something truly rotten. In Scarborough, Ontario, the late 1980s brought a wave of fear. Women were being attacked, brutally, by a man who seemed to vanish into the night. Police called him the Scarborough Rapist. He stalked his victims, dragged them into the shadows, and left them scarred in body and soul. What no one knew was that Paul, the seemingly ordinary young man, was the face behind that nightmare. By day, Paul worked as an accountant. By night, he prowled the streets. He was methodical, obsessed with control, feeding a dark desire that grew stronger with every attack. And for years, he outsmarted authorities. He blended in so well that when he was finally questioned, he joked with the police, smiled, gave them nothing. But Paul wasn't acting alone for long. In 1987, he met Karla Homolka. She was 17, blonde, and instantly captivated by Paul's confidence. To Karla, he was everything: charming, dominant, exciting. What began as a twisted romance quickly spiraled into something far more sinister. Paul didn't just manipulate Karla, he molded her. Slowly, he revealed his darkest fantasies, and disturbingly, Karla didn't recoil. She leaned in, participated, enabled. Together, they created a world where pain was pleasure, and human life meant nothing. Their first victim wasn't a stranger. It was Karla's own sister, Tammy. On Christmas Eve, in a quiet suburban home, Paul and Karla drugged Tammy using stolen animal tranquilizers. They dressed her up, filmed themselves assaulting her while she was unconscious, and when she choked on her own vomit and died, they told her family it was an accident. The police believed them. No charges were filed, and the couple got away with murder. But it didn't stop there. Leslie Mahaffey, Kristen French, young girls full of life were abducted by Paul and Karla. They were brought into the house on 57 Bayview Drive, a house that would later be called a chamber of horrors. Paul liked to film things. The couple would play out roles, dress up, laugh, and torture their victims on tape. And when it was over, they killed them. Sometimes with Karla holding the camera, sometimes with her helping directly. Then they buried the evidence, literally, wrapping bodies in cement, dumping them in remote woods and lakes. Outside, they looked like any other couple. A wedding photo showed Paul and Karla smiling, surrounded by friends and family. No one knew that. Just days earlier, they had killed Leslie and hidden her remains in their basement freezer, so it wouldn't ruin their perfect celebration. Eventually, the crimes caught up to them. A DNA sample linked Paul to the Scarborough Rapes, and when police raided their home, they found a nightmare hidden in videotapes, hours of footage revealing what the couple had done. But by then, Karla had already made her move. She claimed Paul abused her, claimed she was a victim. She struck a deal with prosecutors, full testimony in exchange for a reduced sentence. 12 years. That's all she got. But when investigators finally watched the tapes, they were horrified. Karla wasn't a helpless bystander. She was laughing, participating, taking part in the cruelty. But the deal had been made, and it couldn't be undone. Paul Bernardo, was sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole. But what disturbed investigators most wasn't just what he did. It was how he talked about it afterward. In a chilling confession, Paul admitted to everything, but there was no regret, no sorrow, just details, cold, methodical, monstrous. "I took pleasure in their fear," he said in one statement. "In their silence, in their helplessness." It wasn't madness. It was something far worse. Complete, calculated evil. As for Carla, she served her time. She changed her name, married, and now lives freely. She has children, a fact that continues to outrage the public. Many believe she was every bit as guilty as Paul. In 2023, news broke that Paul had been transferred to a medium security prison, a move that triggered national outcry. Victims' families were blindsided. How could someone like him be given even a slight inch of comfort? The story of Paul Bernardo and Carla Homolka isn't just a tale of murder. It's a tale of masks, of how evil can wear a smile, live next door, and walk among us unnoticed. Because the most chilling monsters aren't always found in the dark. Sometimes they're hiding in plain sight, right behind the mask.